everybody, it's Rosie, and in this video we will be making some country barbecue ribs. We will be doing them in the oven instead of grilling outside because it's a little chilly outside, and it's also good to know how to make, great ribs in the oven. You guys know I have several videos of ribs in the oven. So let's get started with our country style ribs. Country style ribs are usually cheaper than the ones on the rack. It's actually pork shoulder. I don't know why they call rib. Don't ask me. I don't have the answer for that. So let me just tell you what you're going to need for this recipe. I have my spices already out, and it is chopped onion, chopped garlic, black pepper, seasoning salt. I'm also going to have you get some spicy brown mustard or your favorite mustard, and root beer. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to get our mustard, and we're going to go ahead and just drizzle it on the ribs. And if you want the exact recipe, feel free to check it out at iHeartRecipes.com. We're going to go ahead and smooth that all in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. I want to make sure all the surface is covered with my spicy brown mustard. This works as a great marinade. So if you're asking, what the heck is she doing with the mustard? I like to use this. It really adds a lot of flavor. A lot of people actually use mustard in their homemade barbecue sauces. This is just a step that I prefer to use. And if my clothes get dirty, it's okay. This is something I wear around the house anyway, so I am not worried. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off my hands, or actually, let's just continue getting dirty. So I have my spices already, the ones I mentioned to you. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the meat. And it smells good. I will not be enjoying this meal because I am on my MetaFast journey, but my family will definitely be enjoying it. Go ahead and flip those over. Make sure you have the spices on the other sides as well, not just the side we just poured it on. Massage it in. Why I have this hand not doing anything, I don't know. This is just my lazy hand right now. Okay. So, we already got the mustard on. We got the spices on. Let me rinse my hands now because we got to get a little more clean for the next step. Okay, everybody. So, what I have done, I got a regular little cookie sheet, and I lined it with aluminum foil. And then I just put our country ribs on there. So if you got a cookie sheet, if you got any type of pan that you want to use, I'm just going to go ahead and use a cookie sheet. Once it's in the oven, we are not going to cover them. That's always a question I get when I make stuff in the oven. And I apologize for not stating that in the other videos, but let me just let you know, with this recipe, you are not going to cover them once they're in the oven. Now what you're going to do now, we got our root beer. I'm going to go ahead, let me find a nice little corner to pour it in. You don't want to pour it right over the meat. You want to pour it in between and just let it flow. So what our root beer is going to do, it's going to add some amazing flavor. Originally, when I heard of this root beer trick, I thought people were crazy. Then I seen Emerald do it. This was a couple of years ago. Was it Emerald? Well, I seen Emerald do it too. But, and I figured if Emerald's doing it, it has to be good. And it came out to be a really good recipe. But everything else is pretty much my own recipe. I just got the root beer trick from Food Network. Can't remember who I got it from. So what the root beer is going to do is going to add a nice sweet flavor, kind of like a honey barbecue taste. And it's also going to add really, really pretty color. So what happened, like a pretty brown color. What's going to happen, once the root beer cooks down, it's going to turn in like a syrupy texture, okay? So what you're going to need to do is you're going to continuously need to check on your ribs. It's going to take some time, so be patient. It's worth your while. Let's do it.
Okay, sweet pea, so I do not have a light in my oven. I don't have one of those fancy ovens. I have an old-fashioned one. So what you want to do is periodically you want to peek in the oven And you want to kind of mop your meat with that root beer, like I'm doing now. So, as long as you get what I'm doing, I know you probably can't see too much, but you get what I'm trying to tell you what to do. So, I think that's it for now as far as mopping goes, and just keep checking periodically.
Hey everybody, so I pulled out the country ribs, and they are not even done yet. As you can see, they have a beautiful color. The color is not from barbecue sauce. We have not even added our barbecue sauce yet. It's just the glaze from the root beer. So when the root beer cooked, when it cooks down, it turns into a syrup, and it really glazed them nicely. And as you can see, they're very tender and juicy. So what I'm going to do now, go ahead and put this aside. We're going to go ahead and mop a little bit of barbecue sauce on. You don't need too much. So I have my barbecue sauce here. The barbecue sauce I am using today is Kraft Honey Hickory Smoke. Very affordable. I'm going to put on just a couple coats. We don't need that much barbecue. Go ahead and coat them nicely. Okay, so we got our barbecue sauce on there, and let's go ahead and put them in the oven for 10 more minutes on 350.